Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go. I can take that. Hi baby, welcome to behind the scenes. Woo! Welcome to the Coast Worldwide behind the scenes, baby. Blaine and myself literally just touched down an hour and a half ago in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Adrian from Snook Mafia came and picked us up very kindly from the airport, and as you can see, baby, we are right here. I'll take you a little walk through. We are on property at the Snook Mafia place. They just got a new wrap put on, JYG, Hawk, BKK, the 30-foot panga, all the rod holders. I'll walk through the boat later on, but like I said, we just put boots on the ground, so we are getting everything unpacked, making sure nothing broke. But for those of you who are curious, obviously rod tube, rods, popping rods, jigging rods. So we're gonna get all the reels out, all the reels on rods, get the leaders on here, we have to put the hooks on the lures because we took all the hooks off the lures, put them in to the rod tube. So lots of BKKs, and so we got a lot of rigging to do. But first few seconds in Porta, and we're excited, man. Let's do it. We just kind of got the briefing from Captain Carlos here. So Blaine and myself are down here getting leaders tied on. So pretty interesting, actually. Talking game plan before Carlos left, because they're going to kind of like close up shop, get some food, get the last little bit of supplies. But we are starting off on the Makaira 20,000s. We've got 80-pound tightline braid. Blaine is going to be rocking the white 80. I'm going to be rocking the black 80. 80-pound 8-strand tightline. And we are starting off with 200-pound fluorocarbon for the tuna stuff, for stick baiting and for popping. And then on the lighter setups, on Blaine's Certate 14,000, we've got 65-pound tightline, and then I've got 65-pound black tightline there too. And we are running 150-pound fluorocarbon leader there. So even for rooster fish, because there's possibly cubera, because we could possibly hook a 200-pound tuna on those setups as well. And a lot of these areas, which I thought was pretty interesting talking with Carlos, they are like, we could be fishing in this area where it's like 30 foot over here, and then it's like 300 foot over here, like not that far, and you could catch trevally, like blue trevally, you could catch amberjack, you catch our regular kind of like basically jack crevalle species around here too. You could hook into a cubera, like the fish of your life. You could hook into a rooster fish, or a 200-pound yellowfin tuna could blow up. So in the same areas that we are fishing, we could catch, you know, a jack crevalle, or you could catch a monster yellowfin. So apparently you've got to be ready for it. So we're going to start off on all 4 spinning setups. The Makaira 20,000s are getting, like I said, 200-pound fluorocarbon, and then 65-pound braid to 150-pound fluorocarbon leader. I thought that was pretty interesting. We've got both the slow pitch setups here. We'll be doing some slow pitch jigging. These are the Okuma Kavala 5 ends. We've done a unboxing review video, but we haven't got to use them yet. They're on the JYG Pro Revolution Series rods, or yeah, on the rods there. And then we've got the Yamaga. I'm on my PE6 here, so my 816. This is the 818, and then for both of the Makaira 20,000s, we are rocking PE10s. Yamaga, Blue Sniper, Blackie, 8110s. So we've got both the jigging guys here, Saltiga 18,000, and then the Osha Jigger 4,000, 80-pound braid, 80-pound braid, and we're probably gonna go, what, 200-pound leader on those two? Oh gosh, man, this is nuts. So we didn't know exactly what to expect. Obviously we did a little bit of our research. We talked to Adrian before we got down here. So we brought 30-pound fluorocarbon, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, 150, and 200, but it seems like the 150 and the 200, we got plenty of 200, so we'll be ready to rock and roll. But right here, Blaine's juicy little FG knot, getting a nice, when you're measuring out that leader right there, you got to make sure it's 6-foot fish. But look at this, a little FG connection, nothing too crazy. He's gonna cut it. And check out these pliers. These are the first time I get to use these, the Gomexis. They sent us a pair of pliers for the trip. Pretty exciting stuff there. Nice little holder. So we've never used nice pliers, if you guys have noticed in the past. So
I like them.
Yeah, they cut really nice.
They actually cut braid.
They're titanium. And then what we're doing here, and then what we try to do after every time we tie an FG here is I'm just gonna wrap up at the end of this fluorocarbon. Do a nice, really try to break it here on the dock. And then Blaine's gonna reel that guy through, and he's just gonna put the spool cover on there, because on the way out we've got a 10-hour trip. So we're gonna leave, it's evening time right now, so we're gonna leave around 6:30 in the evening, and we're gonna take 10 hours basically all night, just slow motor out 120 miles and take our time getting to the first spot. We'll get there by morning. We'll start fishing in the morning time. So right now, a lot of gear prep. Travel was okay, it wasn't too bad. We connected in Dallas and then we landed in Porta. Only checked the rod tube. So I'm anxious, dude. I'm excited. I'm just ready to get out there, and there's a lot. I would say on my list on the dock right now, we haven't put a single lure in the water in Mexico. My goal is a 200-pound tuna. Since Blaine already has his from home, I would like to break the 200 mark on a yellowfin. A Cubera snapper would be sick, especially on popper, but that's one of those things that you can't just like, you shouldn't just show up and do, you know. Like if we show up and do, we'll be a little bit maybe spoiled on that one. But if we get to see a Cubera, however it happens, would be very, very cool. And then I've never personally caught a rooster fish, so that'll be very neat. And then we're gonna run into a lot of first for Blaine and myself. But big thanks to Tightline Braid for sending us out here, man. Blaine, tell the folks on the behind the scenes episode here, what are your goals for this trip? What are like your top three?
I mean,
top three in order.
Probably number one again would be to break 200 again.
Oh, this guy.
There is. I mean, there really isn't like a thing that I've yet to accomplish that has meant more than that. As far as fight goes, expectations go, everything. So that's, I would love to do that again. Obviously, if I don't, I'm like,
it's okay.
It's definitely okay. Cubera is probably number 2. Roosterfish is number 3 for me. But I am excited for the little species stuff, like the bluefin trevally and all the grouper species and stuff as well. It's all gonna be a blast. I mean, just getting to fish a brand new area, brand new country is something special in itself. So yeah, I'm just super pumped.
We are off, man. We are off. We are gone. Diego, Tank, Captain Carlos, we are out. We are out. We are out.
Do it.
Aye. Let me pull my phone out here. I found it.
Nice.
So we are just getting rigged up. First morning out in Puerto Vallarta. It is 5:53, just about 6 o'clock in the morning. We've got some island chains that we've been running through. So island number 1, island number 2, island number 3. So Captain Carlos and the gang last night just kept us motoring. Blaine and myself got to nicely sit up here in some sleeping bags, get some good sleep. It was a little bumpy on the way out, but we are here now. So we are tied up on my side of things. I'm gonna start out with the FCL Heavy Pop, the 220. So this is the FCL 220 size BKK 5/0 Viper on the Macaire 20,000. Then in the back here, sinking stick bait on the 14,000. And then Blaine's got the West Coast stick bait. These are 4/0s? No, these are Raptors. 3/0 Raptors. Surtate 14,000. Then on his 20,000, he's got the West Coast popper back there. So we're just rigged up like we talked about earlier. 150-pound fluoro, 200-pound fluoro on the big guys, and we're just kind of looking. I wouldn't say necessarily we're like hardcore fishing right now. The goal is to get to the 3rd island, but obviously it's daytime. Obviously we can see, and you guys know how it goes. At any given moment we can see the fish pop up right by us. So we're gonna keep our eyes peeled. We're gonna slide over to the 3rd island, and I think we're gonna start this morning kind of in and around some like some reef and rock structure, shallower water, maybe possibly start looking for Cubera, roosterfish this morning. And then they've got the new radar set up on the boat, so he'll be looking for birds all day. And their game plan for birds, because there can be a bunch of birds but just be like skipjack tuna underneath of them. So they'll mark the bird school on the radar. We might look over to him, and then he has a nice pair of gyro balancing binoculars, and he can look in the school from a really long ways away and decide if it's worth it or not to go over there. So the game plan is going to be not super structured. You know, when me and Blaine go offshore at home, it's like, all right, yellowfin tuna, maybe we'll run into like, I don't know, a marlin, but yeah, like it's pretty cut and dry. We have like 20 different species I feel like we could see today in the exact same area. So just super excited. I'm dry, I don't know, I'm not cold, I feel great, and I'm spry. So let's get after the day, baby, come on. You. Diego and Tank just made us what is quite possibly the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. It's lunchtime here in Porta and the food is amazing. All right, y'all, so about 10 o'clock in the morning, we just got to an area that we like. Captain Carlos heard some chatter over the radio. There's another boat here. Said they just got a 280-pound yellowfin. Maybe just saw a big one blow up here. So we're in the right area. We're about 350 foot deep. So Blaine and myself are gonna start out with poppers. Blaine's got a diving popper over here. And I've got that 220 FCL Ebby pop. 200-pound leaders, Macaira 20,000. So we're gonna start out with the big guns, and really, we're not seeing like, you know, necessarily a school of tuna. So the plan is to get a good drift like we do back home. Carlos is gonna set us up nice, and we're just gonna drift and kind of blind cast. We're gonna pop or stick bait a little bit, so maybe we'll be switching back and forth, and hopefully we can get, you know, blind casting, pull some tuna up from 300-400 feet, get one to blow up on it. Day number one cut. We get the light behind me, but we are. Oh, show me your food, Blaine. Let me see. Fajitas for dinner. Very good. Corn tortillas. I've literally never eaten so good on the boat before, but long day today, fun day today. Tons of giant fish. So make sure you go check out the main video. But Blaine and myself get a little burnt today.
Fried. Fried.
We both look like tomatoes. So tomorrow, JYG hooded shirts are going on. But right now, food, sleep, and then 2 more days, baby. Epic day today. Big thanks to Snook Mafia and fun, dude. All right, good morning, day 2. This is where we caught our rooster fish. Yeah. So this is where Blaine's rooster fish and my rooster fish came from, the 2 bigger ones. And then way out on this point over here, like right there, is where the tuna were yesterday. So hopefully today, the mission's obviously gonna be to just keep going, but we haven't gotten any drone shots yet because it was really windy yesterday. So one of the goals for today will be, if we can run into tuna schools again, maybe let Blaine throw, and we'll try to go a little bit more content focused for day number 2 and get some good drone shots of the islands, maybe get some drone shots of like rooster fish coming in. But yesterday, those like wolf packs of like 40 or 50-pound yellowfin were nuts. They would slide right past the boat, look like Jack Crevalle schools, like back home. And maybe I can get the drone up, and when those wolf pack schools come through, we can get, you know, a good shot of those guys coming through. There's some bait right here. Make sure we get the shots for the main video, make sure everything looks crisp. So fingers crossed, man. Y'all, midday, day number 2. We've done some jigging and some rooster fish and all sorts of stuff, but it's once again one of my favorite times out here in Porto with Snook Mafia. Food time from Tank. I'm going with the water to drink. Blaine's going with a Coke. Even the Cokes and the Gatorades are better. So get some lunch, and then we just caught some pretty neat grouper on slow pitch and like 280 feet. So we might have to go back and do some more jigging while we wait for the tuna to show up. All right, good morning, everybody. We are in the hotel. We got a hotel last night. Not too bad, actually, like $111 per night. And it's a pretty fancy little hotel. It's got like a nice like walk-in shower and stuff. After finally getting in late, we went and got Carl's Jr. at like 2 minutes till close.
Not as good as Tank's food.
Not as good as Tank's
Not even
food.
close to as good as Tank's food.
That's the truth. So we've got kind of all the gear laid out here. All the cameras kind of broken apart, kind of cleaning everything up. All the reels, some clothes, trying to make sure everything's organized. The reels need a little bit of dry time, and then we're gonna clean them. And then the camera case and equipment and clothes bag, everything just needs a little bit of love right now. So we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning, and then right across the road, Adrian was kind enough last night to drop us off at the hotel, and so we're right by like a big shopping mall. So we're gonna do some walking around, check out Porta like itself, maybe do a little bit of touristing things, just look around the marina, and then we've got to do a little bit of recording still for a second video that we're doing for this trip, for another video. So a little bit of recording so we can't completely pack the camera up, and then maybe fly the drone around, get some B-roll shots, really make sure, obviously once we leave Puerto Vallarta and we go home, if I sit down and I need some shots, too bad. So if we have a couple days like this, a little bit extra, we're going to double down and just make sure that we don't miss anything. So still business time, still work time, but maybe a little bit more personal enjoyment. So I'm gonna get cleaned up, freshened up, and we're gonna hit the road. All right, y'all, we are wrapping it up here in our time in Puerto Vallarta. Very nice, very fun place to be. Some great shops. We're right next to Marina Vallarta, next to the boardwalk there for a couple days. So just got some hotel breakfast. So not the best breakfast in the world, but a free breakfast, we'll take it. So we've got all this stuff, and we're going to pack tackle and everything up in the bags. But I guess if you guys were curious to what we bring, we've got a box full of poppers and stick baits that is less organized than it used to be.
No ferias.
No ferias. We've got some Rapala stuff, some stick baits, poppers here, and then another box of poppers and stick baits here as well, all with brand new BKK hooks, which is very nice. Then for a trip like this, we brought all sorts of fluorocarbons. So we've got 150, 60, 50, 80, 40, on 100 pound. Next time we come, I will probably bring 50 pound, 80 pound, 100 pound, and 150. And then we got some wind-on leaders. This is the only way we could find 200 pound fluorocarbon, by the way, was to go to Suffolk's, get wind-on sword leaders in a pinch. And we were just cutting off the the little loop thing and using 200 pound fluorocarbon, and that's what we were using on our Macaire 20,000s all trip. And then pliers, gloves. These Gomex's pliers were bad beans the whole trip, pretty sick. These little cutters are sharp as all get out, cutting 200 pound fluorocarbon or like 30 pound braid, no problem. So pretty neat. This seems like genuine something that gets wet though, this little seat, but it's pretty nice. Got the camera kind of broken down for recording of the day, down to the base now. All the little accessory parts and hoods need to be wiped and cleaned. And then we are out. The rod tube's already packed. Significantly shorter since we don't have all the hooks and stuff in there. On the way here, we didn't have any hooks on any lures. And to not have to check a second bag, we wouldn't have to put all the hooks in here. This time, we're just gonna load up this waterproof bag right here and send it and check it too, so we don't have as much to carry, and it's maybe a little bit simpler on the way home. And then we have a death bag right here. Blech, all the dirty clothes. Oh gosh, that that thing smells really bad. So let's get to packing and crack-a-lacking.